13 voices shouldn't move like one machine, but 17 keeps doing it. Not by accident, but by design. With 3 leaders, 17 split the pressure that would normally crack a group this large in half. And now, with 2 leaders getting enlisted and 1 holding the fort, their blueprint is facing the loudest stress test yet. If this system was a flex, 2025 is the moment it proves whether it's a myth or a model the whole industry has to chase. Most teams hand the mic to 1 leader and pray the decisions land. 17 never played that game. They divided the load into 3 on day 1. A protector who reads the room, a producer who shapes the music, and a performer who turns music into choreography. It's not about 3 bosses, it's 3 lenses pointed at the same target. When schedules get insane and opinions pile up, the split saves time. Who speaks to the company? Who makes the call in the studio? And who fixes the stage picture? That's why 13 people don't feel like a traffic jam. They feel like formation. But that calm center wasn't guaranteed, and it starts with the one who carries the keys. Skooz is the quiet gravity in rooms that get too loud. When decisions have to land, he trims the chaos and gets everyone through the door together. You've seen it on award nights. The steady tone, the careful words, the way he frames a win as a team effort even when the spotlight leans his way. He's the buffer with the company, the shield when things get messy, and the first to step between his members and unnecessary drama. Then the knee injury that changed everything. Surgery, rehab, and suddenly the enlistment conversation blew up online. The official decision gave him exemption, and the internet did what the internet does, argued. Skoo didn't feed the noise. He just put his head down and kept doing exactly what he's known for, staying present, keeping morale stable, and steering the big picture while the lineup shifts around him. That's the part people underestimate. Leadership isn't loud, it's consistent. When a system relies on 3 pillars, you can't afford the first one to wobble. But direction is only muscle if it has a heartbeat. That heartbeat has a name, and he prefers to hide behind the console. There's a reason the songs feel like lived-in stories instead of pretty wallpaper. Woozi writes like someone who knows every member's gear shift, where DK's voice should cut like neon, where Jonghan needs air, where Vernon's rhythm can slice through the mix. He doesn't chase what's trending, he studies what fits. The result? An identity you can hear in 2 seconds. The receipts are brutal. Albums that don't just chart, they set records, a best of that sells like a brand new title, an international festival slot that holds up outside the K-pop bubble. Yet, despite these achievements, he's still allergic to compliments. Call it perfectionism or a producer's curse, but it keeps the standard cruelly high. When an idol group writes most of its own music, it can read as risky. However, with Woozi, it reads like a guarantee. You won't get the same song twice, and you won't get a song that forgets who 17 is. And even the cleanest blueprint needs a spark. For them, the spark wears a tiger grin. Hoshi choreographs like he's staging a plot twist every 8 counts. There's the snap and release that looks easy until you try it, the micro moves that read all the way to the back row, the way he threads 13 bodies so the camera always finds a story. His performance mind doesn't accept that's enough. If a formation is clean, he asks if it's memorable. If it's memorable, he asks if it's iconic. That's why other dancers watch him with that "how did he bake that" face. Right before enlistment, he kept the pedal down, solos, challenges, and stage moments that made even non-fans pause scroll. His style lives on that tightrope between ridiculous energy and sniper-level control. When he steps away to serve, he leaves behind a choreography language the team can still speak, because he wrote it into their bones. So, the roles are distinct. But the real magic? How those roles collided at the exact right moments. The first proof came not on a stage, but at a conference table. All 13 members renewed early with their label. Not only is that decision rare, it's also risky. It meant that they were betting on this exact configuration. They did, and then doubled down with a run that made the numbers silly. 2 different eras in the same year landing in global end-of-year charts, and a greatest hits drop that behaved like a brand new era. Then came the festival moment. Glastonbury's main stage, which is a place where gimmicks and camera tricks don't save you. A place where the show needs to be felt even from a mile away. And when 17 appeared on this stage, they created history. Yet, despite their achievements, the internet loves a debate more than a success story. And the debates came fast. Anytime idols control their own output, 2 contrasting narratives show up. They're geniuses, and they're overextended. Add the enlistment headlines, and the comment sections lit up. Questions about fairness, timing, and whether the 13-member machine could keep running with the leading pieces temporarily removed. Here's what actually happened. The members communicated, the schedules adjusted, and fans got what they always get from this group: clarity. not chaos. It didn't erase the chatter, but instead it outlasted it. In K-pop, stability is a flex, and doing it while writing your own material, that's a statement. And that brings us to the part everyone's watching right now. Back-to-back enlistments for Woozi and Hoshi turned the three-leader triangle into a line, at least on paper. Practically, the structure just reweighted. SQ stabilizes communications and group decisions, while the choreo vocabulary Hoshi built over the years and the production ethos Woozi set are baked into the team's habits. Subunits rely on the grammar and standards these two left behind. Producers who've long worked with the group understand the standard, and the members who obsess over detail keep the quality control brutal. It's not about pretending nothing has changed. It's about designing a system that functions even while you're gone, which is exactly what they did. If you think that's common, ask around. Most groups need outside hands to keep the engine warm. 17 left instructions in the code. Rival labels love templates, and 17 accidentally handed them one. A system with multiple leaders with real authority, not ceremonial badges. The catch? It only works if the leaders communicate without ego and the company actually trusts them. That second part is rare. You can assign titles and roles, but you can't assign chemistry. Something that 17 earned across training rooms, tour buses, and years of shared risk. That's why similar setups elsewhere still feel different. You can copy roles, but you can't fake a culture overnight. And when the metrics land, sales, tours, and global headlines, the lesson becomes harder to ignore. Autonomy scales only when you prove you can handle it. Everything points back to a single year that crystallized the case. When your album ends up becoming the world's bestseller, people stop arguing about taste and start quoting numbers. The album FML wasn't just a local monster, it dominated everywhere that counts. Following that with another era that still lands in global rankings, then dropping a compilation album Best Of that moves like a comeback. That's not luck, that's organizational design meeting fan trust. It told the industry two things. 17's brand isn't a trend cycle, and the three-leader system isn't some cute lore. It's infrastructure, one that 17 created, adapted, and mastered. So where does that leave fans and the group right now? The secret for their success isn't that they have three leaders. It's that the three leaders built habits the rest of the team believed in. Protect first, write honestly, perform like the choreography has plot. With these three habits coded deep into the team, 17 can survive through any disaster, whether they are contract talks, rumor storms, or enlistment calendars. Those habits don't break. They bend and reform. That's why insiders keep calling them self-producing with a different tone now. It isn't just about credit lines. It's about control, responsibility, and a standard the members enforce on themselves. So yes, even if two pillars are serving and only one is steering, the music still sounds like them. The stages still move like them. And when all three stand on the same platform again, the reset won't feel like a restart. It'll feel like the next version of a system that refuses to slow down. In a scene where hype burns fast, 17 chose structure, and structure wins marathons.